Welcome to the Unlock the Genius Within show. I'm your host, Jordan DeBarno, former salesman turned alchemist and creative. And on this show, myself and my guests will be breaking down the lessons, experiences, and secrets that we gained through bringing our creative genius to life. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get into the episode. Welcome to Unlock the Genius Within. I'm your host, Jordan DeBarno, and we are back. I am back, I should say. And you guys, so we could say we are back for another episode today. It is a solo episode. I want to say a big thanks to Jen, my good friend and client, for kicking off the Genius sessions with me on our previous episode. We've had some amazing feedback so far. For everyone that's watched, so thank you for tuning into that. It's always great to hear that new things like that really do make a difference in your lives, because that's essentially the intention for this show. It's to help everyone. I'm just looking at the camera over here because we're doing some recordings. It's to help you and everyone else that's listening unlock your genius, like what's true for you, your greatness, so you can express that in your life, in some form of business, in some sort of artistic pursuit. I'm here for it. And today's episode is actually on the back of the Genius sessions, because I'm inspired by Jen and her courage to come onto the show and really be vulnerable like that. And I want to speak about that today. In the sense of, regardless where you are in your journey, we don't need to build ourselves up with certificates or reasons that we can express our genius. So, like, we don't need permission to do that. I know for the majority of my life, I've had this huge thing about credibility. I need credibility, right? Everyone on Instagram, this is why I look, for most of my reels, I look this way, right? It's like power, but like, I'm totally over that now. I'll tell you a story why, because I had a very powerful experience yesterday. But the whole thing, you need credibility, you need certificates, you need this, you need that. Like, I want to really open up that discussion today, because I believe we don't need permission to express our genius. We don't need credibility, because our genius will speak for itself. It will develop credibility itself. It's our greatness. For so long in sales, you spend half the call, not even half the call, probably 90% of the call, trying to build as much credibility as you can, right? To compensate for how shitty and how shameful you feel inside. And how does it come across to people when you're trying to, like, prove your credibility? It comes off fucked. No one likes it, right? And there's a real thing to be said about that. And I only worked that out later in my sales career, where I'm like, man, experts just don't talk like this. So I'm just not going to fucking talk about my credibility. If it comes up, it comes up, but I'm going to talk about it in a very nonchalant way, because it's not what actually matters. Now, I didn't really understand why back then, but now I do. And even though I logically understood it back then, I didn't really embody it. And up until like yesterday, I've really hung on to this thing of always trying to, like, show that I'm ahead, that I'm a big player, like, show, like, yeah, fuck, look at my results, right? Look how far I am, to prove to you guys, yeah, I'm a good coach, and it's worthwhile coming to work with me. And though I look at, like, what happens in my sessions and the power, the transformation, the results my clients get, for some reason, it's always come up. Oh, it sneaks in on, even on the podcast and my reels. It's like, just show how much, credibility you have to express your genius. And yesterday I was in a group call in one of my coaches' programs, a group program, And basically what happens in this container is you do readings on each other. And one of my good friends, Claire, if you're listening, thank you. Love you to bits. She gave me a reading and she pulled me up on it hardcore. I'm not going to go deep into what she said, but my goodness, like what my unconscious, what my ego was basically telling me was, Jordan, you aren't viable without, you know, the big freaking speaking gigs, the blue tick. Like I still haven't gotten around to or the best-selling book, like The Salesman, the Smuggler wasn't a bestseller. It got to 7th in its category, but didn't hit bestseller. Like all these things, and it's like, you know, how can you just jump on and speak freely? And Claire was just giving me this deep thing, right? All the emotions and all the shit that was behind it. And I tell you what, afterwards, like in full honesty here, I broke down. Like it was very, it was a deep reading, man. My ego did not like it, but it's like, I can see you now. I can see what you're doing. And I came out of it, and I was like, holy shit. You can either spend your life trying to build credibility, but not embodying the true credibility, which is genius. So you can lean on the speaking gigs, you can lean on the amount of money you made. You know, everyone posts, oh, I made this much money this month. This is what kind of, you know, coach. It's a very popular thing to do on Instagram. Or I got this certificate, but like deep down, you're in a structure of I need all this because this is my key. This is my permission to express my genius, right? Or you can just say, well, my genius is just going to speak for itself. And you can logically know this, but you know what I experienced yesterday, until you've alchemized it, until you've got the low vibration message up against the high vibration message, you don't really feel it. And yesterday I felt it, and I'm like, you know what, Jordan? Just get all out there, man. Let's just go do this. Let's go do this. Let's just go speak. Let's be open. Let's be grounded with where we are. And let's just let genius speak. Because it is a thing. Genius does speak. And it might suck for a little while. And this is the thing. You know, you see a lot of people out there like Gary Vee and stuff. I love these guys, but they frame the message like, you got to embrace the struck. You got to struggle for a while. I want to add something on top of that as someone who's here. You know, I'm here to help you with your businesses, but really I'm here to help you be the best you that you can for your business. Because if you're the best that you can be for your business is going to become a business of its own, right? You won't be attached, but that's a different conversation. All right. So I want to talk about that struggle thing. When you're aware and you're grounded in your current reality, and it's like, fuck man, like I'm not making the money I want, or I'm not where I want to be, and there's this big vision in front of me, and it's like, oh fuck, I'm struggling, like, oh, not that whole thing, like defining it as struggle, is what's fucking people up, and it's taking you away from your genius. You just are where you are, you know. And this is what I really like, pat myself on the back, JD, for doing this. But the last 2 years, I've really become someone that's like, man, this is my current reality. And that's all it is. It doesn't need to be, I'm in struggle town, because that's what the ego wants you to believe. I'm in struggle town. I need to make the struggle go away. No, you just are where you are. You just are where you are. You're not making the money you want. Yeah. Now, if I heap all my stuff onto it, but now I look like a dickhead, or now now people are going to see me. Yeah, they are. And that's what it is. Right? So like I want to give you examples right across the board here. I started sharing my singing voice with people. Yesterday, I recorded 2 covers. I recorded Bruce Springsteen, I'm on Fire, and I recorded Chris Isaak, Wicked Games. And I'm like, my voice ain't ready. Even my guitar skills, like, they're okay. I've documented it on this podcast. They're okay, but they're not polished. They're not ready for the stage. But I'm like, no, it came through as a bridge, an intuitive action step to share my singing voice with my friends. So I did it. Was it perfect? No. And I just said, hey guys, are you open to receiving the covers that I've recently recorded? And you could hear it when I'm strumming away, like on the Chris Isaac thing. I go B minor, A, E. Those are the chords, by the way. If you want to play it, those are literally the only three chords. You just recycle them, recycle them, recycle them. And you know that bit before he's like, just before he hits that chorus, where it's like, no, like just before there, you've got to slide back up to B minor at the right time. And I was taking too long. But I've listened back to it, and my one of my best mates, Jimmy. Now he's usually very nice to me with his feedback. So Jimmy, love you, bro. But he's like, man, that was sick. That was so good. But I've listened to it, and you know, I thought it was a problem. I'm like, God, your voice is crackling when you go really high, like especially on that last chorus. Like just now, my voice is fresh, so I can hit it. Or maybe I'm just below, but I was always arriving late, but it was just where it was. Now I can say, look at that, Jordan, you're nowhere near ready to perform. Yes, I'm not ready to perform yet. And that's what it is. Or I could go, Jordan, you're not ready to perform and you're a fucking idiot for not practicing hard enough or not picking this up when you're a kid. It's all over. Give up. Or have that chatter going on unconsciously, run it for weeks, and then all of a sudden not want to practice anymore. This is why entrepreneurs quit. This is why I've wanted to quit for so many years. This is why I stayed away from coaching for so many years. I was running a sales agency because of this. I did not want people to see that I wasn't big Debano, big world beater businessman. And just now it's like, you know what? Let's just fucking drop it, because genius speaks for itself. And I have faith that my genius is just going to create the end result that I'm looking at. But I'm open to being seen, man. You guys can see me. Everyone can see me for where I am. That's the power. You just drop the need for certificates, for this, for that. And that's the beauty of our genius. Now, there's the dysfunctional side of thing that I've noticed, where it's like, all right, well, I want to speak about this whole thing about not needing permission. So now I'm just gonna get all out there and just share all my struggles with people and talk about it and make you feel sorry for me. And then all of a sudden I rise above them, and like you can get really dysfunctional with this. So I caught myself going into that. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to talk our sob story just to persuade people to do something. Like, we don't need to do that. Talk the truth, right? Talk the truth. So, and the truth is that, yes, we may not be where we want to be in the grand scheme of things. Right now, guys, I can tell you, I have a huge vision for this business, for helping people with their genius. I see this going global. I see myself standing on stage in front of millions of people. I've seen this since I was a kid, right? Am I there? No, I don't have the reach of a million people. Go check my Instagram followers, go TikTok, all of it. You can see it. But am I in absolute struggle town? No, I'm not. There's momentum here. That's the honest truth. Now, is there momentum to get on stage and speak to a million people just yet? No. But there is momentum. There is momentum. And that's the mastery. You want to get to a point where you can go, yes, I am where I am. I don't have the resources to run the big event. I don't have the skill just yet to perform wicked games in front of a group of a large crowd at a pub and do a cover and absolutely nail it. Yeah, my singing voice, like, it ain't perfect, but you don't have to make it doomsday. You can always bring it back and just go, yeah, man, this is where I'm at. Because genius will come to support you as long as you stick with it. As long as you stick with it. And especially what I've noticed, when you do it functionally, things just get better. You know, I've documented it many times, and I'll speak about the guitar and I'll speak about coaching today. Guitar, I could not play the guitar 3 months ago, 3.5 months ago, about now, nearly 4 months. I could not play it. My fingers hurt. I couldn't even make a C, whatever. That looked really weird. Sorry, but I was trying to show you what a C looked like. I wasn't trying to do something else, but like, it was just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Right now, I can play C. I can play E minor, E, A, D, D minor, F, G, G minor, B flat. The list goes on. There are a lot of chords I can play. E flat. I love E flat. It just gives it that nice, ballady feel, right? And now I'm on to more complex chords. I'm learning like G sharp minor and all these more B sus2. There's a heap of other things that I'm learning, right? And the journey goes on. And there's some songs that I've absolutely nailed. Like now, singing wise, no, but like to play it, yes. Like The Police, Every Breath You Take, and there's like 5 covers that I've nailed that are very easy for me. But the ones that I want to play, I haven't mastered them yet. But that's okay. That's totally okay. And how do I continue the pattern of like beforehand where it was like, oh my God, I suck so bad. I can't play C, right? When I first started the guitar, had I made that doomsday or just go, dude, you can't play C, but you can play E, or you can't play the guitar for shit, but you want to. This is your current reality. Like, that's all it is, right? That's all it is. So obviously genius wants me to learn. So it's supporting me. It's carrying me through. And here we go. We're almost 4 months in and I'm playing at a pretty decent level. Decent for someone new, of course. Right. So that's one thing. Coaching. I know when I'm in a session, I'm brilliant. Okay, I'm brilliant. I've coached even during my sales agency. I had staff, I was coaching them. Before that, I had some clients. After that, I coached people on and off, and I know people succeed big with me. But the thing I didn't want to face was, Jordan, you're not fucking Tony Robbins yet. You don't have a big audience. You don't have the millions of dollars coming in revenue. All right. You haven't been around that long in this coaching structure. Settle the fuck down. Stop talking like you are because nobody's buying it. But I didn't want to open up to that. But the minute I have, like, and literally, it was only yesterday that I really sunk into it. But the last few weeks it's been coming. But only yesterday, I was just like, oh, finally I can see what needs to be done. I can see the action steps. There's a freedom there. Credibility. Oh my God. Okay. It actually doesn't matter. You guys will just come with me for the journey now and you will see. The credibility will build as a byproduct of being in the structure of the truth. Okay. The credibility, like everyone watching this on Instagram, just hear me loud and clear. Your genius does not need credibility. If you're in the structure of the truth, the credibility will be handled as a byproduct because you're taking people with you. Right now, I can only assume that that's the truth as well, but I'm going with that. And maybe, in 2 years' time, we'll look at that. You'll look at where I'm recording this and you go, fucking hell. Yeah, there you go. Credibility built, right? But that's the power. That's the power. That's the freedom. Yeah. And I want you to take some momentum from this because I'm standing here talking like this. I'm recording my podcast. I'm still showing up. I had my client this morning. And it's like, Jordan, we're going to build this business and we're going to be truthful on where we're at. And we're not going to put up this facade. No more facades. No more like being on the sales call. We're done with that. We're done with that pattern. And, many salespeople do this. They talk, and not only salespeople, marketers and people in business. We love to talk like we're bigger than we are. Why? Why do we do it? Well, I know I did it because I couldn't feel my genius. I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel this. I couldn't feel it. So it's like, shit, got to compensate because I don't like sitting where I'm at. When you know your genius, guys, let me just be really honest here. When you know your genius, things can feel sucky, but you will sit there and feel the suck and smile. You will. And you won't settle. You won't settle. You'll stick with it. You won't make your feelings mean everything. And I know for me, there have been many times the ego tempts me. Come on, Jordan, look at you sucker. Look at where you're still at. And it's like, okay, but I'm here and I'm holding that language here. And eventually it knows, he's not buying it today. Your genius doesn't need permission because I'm going to continue talking about this. This is also embedding in my subconscious how important this message is. But when you're in the structure of the truth, okay, and you're continuing to just hold yourself in your current reality and not make it doomsday, and continue to stay on that vision, just take the action steps. Your subconscious gets, he's not fucking moving. He's going for it. I can't trick him. I can't trick him anymore. Like the whole thing, I need a structure for my marketing. I need to say this, right, and that. It's a trick. It's a trick. Why do we need to know how things are going to play out so desperately in a sales call or a meeting? Because we don't trust that our genius has got our back. I know that was me until I just went, fuck it. And back when I was selling, I didn't embody this, but I knew it logically. I'm like, drop it, Jordan. Sit there like you know that you're credible. Just sit there, right? I couldn't feel it in my body. So people were like, man, he's being real serious at the moment. But I was onto something because it worked. No one ever questioned our ability, my company's ability that I was selling for. I'd sit there. They go, so Jordan, why you over the next person? You're here, aren't you? You would know that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. What? We've sat down for an hour. We've just broken down your whole scenario. You've told me you agree with everything that we've discussed today. You answer that question. I'm not going to answer that for you. Because what I'm going to say, you're probably not going to believe it anyway. Oh, right. Okay, we get to the end of the call. What do you want to do? You want to go with this or you don't? I'm there to help you make a decision. I'm not here to prove to you my credibility. That should be obvious. Now, I couldn't feel this in my body, but now I don't even create scenarios. When people jump on a call with me to discuss my coaching, they do not ask me why me. They do not ask me that. Why you over the... They don't ask me that, right? I just don't create scenarios like that for myself, because here's the next thing, right? If you're having people question why you over someone else, you've got a credibility thing. Your ego's going, yeah, that's the sore point. I'm going to put someone in front of him or her that questions it just to see whether they take the bait and they go questioning and they're safe in the dysfunction of explaining themselves. It's a thing. But when you go, no, I'm going to embrace all the feelings I have, all the insecurities I have where I'm at. I'm going to sit here and, like, if you're running a startup and you know you're new, best thing you can do, sit in it, own it. Yeah, we're new. It's a risk working with us. Like, fucking own that shit. You don't know, right? But if you're willing to come on the journey with me, we're both going to find out. If you're willing to do that, then you're the right customer for us. Now, that's pretty horrible, like in terms of how I've expressed that, but that sense, like, you want to be in that zone of, hey, we're new. Don't try to escape you're new. Or if you're big, okay, this is also important for you. If you're a big time corporate, you're a big fucking shot, don't try and fake and be nicey nice. Own that you are going to intimidate some people. You're going to intimidate some people. You got to own where you are. You know, I know so many business owners, they try to be nice. They try to be nice because they're scared of their killer. You don't need to be scared of your killer if you own the killer. You own that you have that in you. Sit there and own it, man, but stay in the structure of the truth. Stay in the structure of the truth. Now, how might that sound if you're a big shot listening to this? Or that's your identity. That's what your ego's told you to be, right? You could say to people, listen, I'm not going to lie. Working with me, I'm a hard ass. People have told me that I can be an asshole. When the pressure's on, I just want you to know ahead of time. I put people under the pump. This is what I used to say in my hiring interviews when I'd hire salespeople. I'd say, I really am a bit, I used to say a bit, but the truth was massive control freak. I make people do call exams. You get one answer wrong, then we start again. Until you get perfection, you're not allowed on the phone. This is about owning your current reality and going, my genius does not need permission. Now, that's a bit of a, that's in a separate discussion, right? Because there, in those scenarios, you're not really embodying it. But you guys, you're on this journey with me with unlocking your genius. So if you're aware that you are a coach deep down, or you are a real estate agent, you're a writer, and you've got to pitch something, and you're feeling a type of way about your current reality, just know the power is in telling the truth. Sit in it, allow the suck to come up, and don't make it mean anything. Your genius, if you are meant to be, if your heart is saying you are a writer, you are a real estate agent, you are a speaker, you are a coach, you're a tech entrepreneur, you see the vision, but you know where you are, and you're so far away of it, and your ego's like, how dare you create that, right? I'm trying to engage Instagram too. How dare you? Look at where you're at. What do you know about this? Okay, you sit there with your ego and go, this is where I'm at. And that's all it is. No, you might not have the knowledge. No, you might not have the money. No, you might not have the pizzazz that the big dudes or the big players do in your space. That's okay. That's all it means. You are where you are, but your genius does not need permission to continue forward. You just are where you are, because the creation of your genius is structural. It's structural. Okay. And your ego will tempt you. It will tempt you, but you don't need to buy it. So I'll end on, I wanted to share that today because I was very inspired by Jen coming on the show and just sharing, her, where she's at, and being open to me assisting her in that journey. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same. You don't need to come on the Genius Session show, but I want you to embrace where you're at. Take some inspiration from Jen. She inspired me, and just be like, where am I? And am I really allowing myself to sit in this current reality? Because if you're not, guys, you're cutting the tension. You're cutting the tension that you would feel from looking at how big your vision is to where you really are. You're cutting that, and you need that. The truthful structural tension, the true distance between where you are and where you want to go. If you don't allow yourself to sit there, you won't give yourself the biggest gift of all, feeling that tension, feeling that distance. Okay? And the way you do that is you do not make your current reality doomsday. You do not try to resolve it by getting certificates and all the, if it's true for you to get certificates and true for you to, get yourself published in Forbes or whatever. I'll probably be published in Forbes one day if it comes up as a bridge. But all that stuff that people, flash as a badge. If it's true for you to go do that, do that. But if it's not true for you, just sit in the fucking truth of it. You don't need credibility right now. It's going to be built as a byproduct. Okay. That's enough from me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your attention. I love that you're here with me going on this journey of unlocking your genius. And we've got two options today. If you've come to the end and you go, man, I'm inspired, I want to go deeper with Jordan, we've got two options right now. You can either apply to be on the Genius Session show. We're filling up for September. One spot has already gone. So if you want to get in now, go and apply. I've got one application waiting in my email. So go if you want to get in soon. If you are wanting to go deeper and you're actually wanting to work with me on a one-to-one basis, that is all I have available right now in terms of programs. Book yourself in for a call. There will be a link in the description. All right, guys, big love you all, and we will catch up next time.